Welcome back to Tracking That, a channel where we try to track what liberals are saying but end up not being able to as usual. So the media has been glorifying Kamala Harris over the past couple days, and no, they haven't been talking about her accomplishments because she has none, other than not pursuing the death penalty for a criminal who murdered an officer, locked nearly 1,900 people for weed offenses, a lot of them nonviolent, being in support of Medicare for all, and being in charge of the border. But these really aren't accomplishments, obviously. The media is doing exactly what they did in the 2020 election. Not talk about their agenda, but rather talk about how evil Trump is and the MAGA Republicans. And the biggest thing is attacking us for us exposing the truth, that their darling black woman candidate isn't black after all. But before we get into that, I'm going to roll a clip of Joe Rogan predicting Kamala Harris will win.
It all bothers me, the fragility of the human mind. You know, that everybody forever was like, Kamala Harris is the worst vice president. She's the least popular vice president of all time. And then in a moment in time, all of a sudden she's our solution. She's our hero. Everybody's with her. All these social media posts about her. Try Googling a negative story on her. You won't find one.
So,
ta-da!
Okay, you've got.
Do you think they have her medicated? Because there was a guy that was speculating that some of the things that she says, the way she's sort of disconnected sometimes, and
I don't know
she goes
what,
on these rambles, that it's
I don't
indicative of certain anti-anxiety medication. I do not know if this is true. See if you can find that, because really shouldn't say that about our future president.
Yeah, yeah.
She's going to win.
No, she's not.
She can win.
She absolutely can win. I do not think she's going to win because the more she talks, like in 2020, how bad do you have to be that you can't even make Iowa? She couldn't even compete with the mayor of South Bend.
I feel like we are in this very bizarre time where people are giving in to the bullshit in a way that I never suspected people would before. And this is one, they just want no Trump, no matter what, and they're willing to gaslight themselves to think that. And by the way, I think Hillary could win. If Hillary jumped back in.
I've been saying that for months.
If Hillary jumped back in, I think the problem was also the money. Because there was it was like $250 million in the campaign fund that has to, if it only works if she's on the ticket.
Right.
So that's part of the problem. But I feel like Hillary could win. She won the popular vote in 2020.
I've been saying this for a year in different shows, and she would have won in pretty.
Michelle Obama could win too.
No, I don't think
if she wanted to do it. You don't think so?
I don't. I think that's kind of this. You sound like your parents. I think that's this boomer idea. She doesn't want it.
I'm not saying that she would be awesome at it. But I think
anyone can win of either party, whoever the nominee is. Like even Chris Christie could have won if he's the Republican nominee. It's possible.
I would have thought that Trump getting shot would that's it, election's over. But it's like they memory hold that so quick.
You would have thought Trump getting shot would have had 8 years of corporate journalists talking about hate speech causing violence to be like, let's take a step back, and that went for what, a week?
They did take a step back for a little bit, and then they went right back at him.
You want to talk about this memory holding?
Yeah.
With the insanity of the who's that? That was Elon who put up, like, if you Google President Donald, it says President Donald Reagan.
No, I tried it.
What happened?
Maybe they fixed it. It said President Donald Trump.
Okay. Well, he had a screenshot, so I'm sure he didn't Photoshop
no.
that.
I mean, it's based on a lot of things, right? Like what people are searching for. I would imagine that the assassination attempt on Trump would be the first one that you would see.
Yeah.
Assassination attempt on President maybe Trump, because that's the most recent.
Yes.
But it's not.
And most newsworthy.
But it does show it. You just have to type it all in, which is interesting. Because that little difference between what you can find and what you get presented immediately has a huge shift in the way people access information. And this is Robert Epstein's work.
The Creepy Line, the documentary, everyone should watch it.
Yeah, and this thing is very real. And what it is like if you try to Google certain negative stories, like negative stories on people, it will overwhelm you with positive stories. It'll take a long time before you get to the negative stories.
Yeah, how he explained it is here's how they can tip the scale.
Yeah.
If I Google Hillary Clinton, and I have it so Google gives fairly positive stories about Hillary as the first 10 results, you're not going to go to the second page. If I Google Donald Trump and Google gives you 7 negative stories, it's going to move the needle a little bit toward her and against him. Yeah.
Quite a bit. Like if you're a person who's on the fence, you're like, maybe Donald Trump's not a bad guy. And then you Google him, and then you start reading some of these like pieces that they've written about him. It'll change your perspective.
You really think she's going to win?
I'm saying it because she could. I'm not saying it
She of
because I
course
think
could.
she's going to, and I'm not saying because I want her to. I'm just being honest. Like I could see her winning.
I think she's going to lose a lot of the blackmail vote.
Really, that's.
I don't think
interesting.
they're going to go in the booth and pull the lever for her like they did for Biden, who was Obama's boy.
So obviously hearing this from Rogan doesn't make me happy, but he brings up interesting points. The anti-Trump train is back in full force, and the information hiding is insane. You look up Kamala Harris on Google, there's updates on her campaign as well as negative Trump stories of Trump attacking her race. You look up Donald Trump, all negative stories of Trump attacking Kamala on her race. They are turning this into a race-gender election, so they are going to overflood the news cycles with even more stories of how racist and sexist Trump is. And yeah, it could potentially get people tired of him again and not vote for him. Or it could have the opposite effect where they are so sick of the media's BS that their influence will be zero. The fact of the matter, the media can call us racist or sexist, but we have all the facts on our side. The major debate now is whether Kamala is an African American or Indian woman. And, well, I'll just let CNN tell us what race Kamala is.
My mother, who raised me and my sister, was a proud woman. She was a brown woman. She was a woman with a heavy accent.
This goes on for like another 2 minutes, but CNN literally ran a story saying how her Indian heritage changed her life. But maybe we should ask Kamala herself what race she is.
And certainly you could become the first Indian senator in U.S. history, which would be quite an accomplishment.
Knock wood.
You could become the first Indian senator in U.S. history, which would be quite an accomplishment.
Knock wood.
Okay, so what we're going to cook today
Okay.
is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you are Indian.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and I don't know that everybody knows that, but I find that wherever I go and I see Indian people at the supermarket, on the street, everyone's like, you know Kamala Harris is Indian, right? It's like the thing we're so excited about to have you running for president.
Yeah.
So we're both Indian,
Yes.
but actually we're both South Indian.
Yes. You look like the entire one half of my family.
Okay, thank you.
You do.
I've been telling people
You
we're
do.
related already,
Yeah.
so this is perfect. It's basically true. And so, were you raised eating South Indian food?
South Indian food.
Well, now that we got confirmation for Kamala herself on her Indian heritage and her father actually being Jamaican, we can now officially confirm that Kamala Harris is not a black woman and she is being a complete and total fraud. But anyways, guys, that's all I have for today's video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.